tip and a hint. They don't cover this in the platinum, but I will give you, there's, when you finish the game and you end credits on the campaign, if you go back to Midgard and go back to Kratos' cabin, there's a little bit of dialogue you can experience and something left behind. And I'm not going to tell you what, but I noticed that in my playthrough. And also, I noticed that when you platinum the game and get, there's a trophy for this. If you'll notice, there's this little tidbit. If you'll notice behind this gate over here, there is 2 stags here in the
Just as Ratatoskr said they would. Maybe he is just trying to build a family.
There's 2 stags. Well, in this trophy, hang on, let me read all the trophies for you, in case you don't know. Let's see. So I want to quickly go over these trophies. You won't see my video right now because I'm reading the trophies. The platinum, which I have, is I have the platinum because a guy who I play on PlayStation with, he was kind enough to help me with certain things through share play. Kudos to him. I'm not going to give you his screen name for obvious privacy reasons for him, but he was able to help me with the few things that I wasn't too quick enough to do, or my hand had cramped up by that time. So he did 2 fights for me and one of the trials and Muspelheim, and I just didn't do that trial ever again once he helped me with it. It was the one in the trials of Muspelheim where Muslim or whatever it's called, where you had to feed the rift, because by the time I would pick up the orb, the enemies would stall out at me, and because on his when he did it, he was able to help me for it, but at the time I wasn't fast enough to hit the button. Kudos to him, and he also helped me with the last 2 fights. But other than that, I did all this myself. Aside from that one trial and Feed the Rift and the last 2 fights, the last Berserker and Gnaw, I did all the other Berserkers and I did all these trophies. The platinum is called the Bear and the Wolf. You'll get that whenever you get all the trophies. Florist, it means you collect one flower from each of the 9 realms. There are YouTube videos on these trophies as well if you would like further explanation as to how to get them. Librarian means you have to collect all books, and there is a total of 13 books for the trophy, but for the artifact side of it, there's the librarian side, which is 13 books, but then the artifact trophy has you actually collecting 14 of the books. So when you get the librarian, you get 13, but you don't get all the books until you'll get the trophy to pop. But then that 14th book is looked at as an artifact. So there's actually 14 books. But you get the librarian trophy when you get 13. Curator is collect all artifacts, which also has to do with what I just talked about. How it gets started, some of these are equip an enchantment, upgrade, spit shine, upgrade 1 piece of armor, simple Spartan ways, remember the Spartan teachings. That's very self-explanatory. And I'll tell you also, there's an interesting trophy while I'm on it right now, I'm reading it, Full Belly, obtain all the apples of Ion and horns of blood mead. You get those, I'll give you a hint, you get those from every Nornum chest that you open. So there are a total, I believe, of 35 to get the trophy to pop. You have to, and there's one in the oarsman, and There's one in the Oarsman and there's one in the Temple of Light that are time-gated dorm chests. And what I mean by time-gated is you have to throw your axe in a certain fast pattern to get the letter or symbol to go away, and then hit the next one and hit the next one. You'll be tasked with hitting 3 bells, and only there's one in the Temple of Light that's time gated. The Oarsman is strictly very time gated Oarsman, and the other one that's time gated is in the crater. I forget where exactly it is. I want to say the area you get, or the area you're at before you go to the sinkholes. So there's one that's like where there's a bale that's kind of wrapped up in those vines that you have to burn with your axe, and then that puzzle is time gated. You have to throw your axe so fast and then run to the third one and do it. But there's only like 3 that are time gated. The rest of them is just a simple puzzle using your sigil arrows. Excuse me. Grizzly encounter. These are just campaign trophies, blood debt. First time you meet Thor, as far as a fight goes. Backyard brawl. Root of the problem. These are all the cauldron, off the leash. These are campaign ones. Comeuppance, battle hymnal, campaign. Better together. Battle Harist and Mist. Yeah, you'll come across that one. Let me see. Yeah, that's I did that on the 18th, so that had to be campaign. And the phalanx obtain all shields. That was pretty self-explanatory. Collector obtain all relics and sword hilts. Now I will stop here because there's something to keep note of when you're obtaining all relics and sword hilts. Relics and sword hilts, they're in the same category. So there are some hilts that you can find around in the realms, but there are a couple of them that are behind side quests, so you'll have to search those out and find those. But most importantly, you cannot get the last relic / sword hilt until you beat the last berserker, the king. So he has a hilt that he drops after you kill him. So you need to pick that up. And also remember, for your swords and hilts, when you obtain it, make sure to go to the closest shop and craft it. Because some of them need to be crafted after you do a side quest. Craft, and this next one is craft the dragon skill armor set. That happens when you open up the crater and kill all the dragons. There are 2 or 3 dragons you'll actually fight in the crater area through side quests. And I will tell you a little secret about, let's go back to the collector trophy, obtain all relics and sword hilts. There are these side missions that you can do in Alfheim. But you can do them, but I will tell you there is this one where it's called Freya's Gift, and I think it's called Freya's Gift, and I want to say the second half, or the second side quest that follows that, is called Dead Door or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But before you do those, before you tackle them, because I had this problem, I would do the side quest and it would complete it, but I wasn't getting the sword hilt. There is a little known fact about the collector trophy, which means they'll let you do the side quests, but if you don't have all the missing pages that you need for the lost pages, you'll see that in your menu. If you don't have all the lost pages, it won't drop that hilt for you that you need to put in that collection. So you'll end up having to do side quests more than once. Those 2 side quests, Freya's Gift, and I think it's called Dead Door, that follows that. You'll have to do it again if you don't get the lost pages first. They don't tell you that in the trophy guide. A lot of times people will leave that out. So I was going to give that little tidbit because I was doing the side quest and finishing it, and it would say I would complete it, but wouldn't drop the necessary hilt that comes with it, and it's the hilt of ang- uh, Agri. It's the hilt of Agrivald. That's the one that is related to that side quest that was giving me the trouble. But I found that I had to have the lost pages first. Funeral for a friend. After you finish the campaign, you can go get to that cutscene. It's very self-explanatory. If you go in a certain, go back to Sindri and Brock and all that. I'm not going to tell you about that, but like you can pretty much gather what happened. How's it going? Fully repair the amulet. That has 9 slots in it, I believe, 8 or 9. You'll find the actual slots to be repaired are in golden chests throughout the realm. So make sure you open up golden chests. And some golden chests have like a sigil puzzle that goes along with it. So if you can't figure them out, just make sure to YouTube those as well. Like I said, Funeral for a Friend is all a cutscene when you finish the game. So, and Rebel Leader, return the Hammer of the Rebellion. Very simple. Nothing too, too self-explanatory. Need friends. Fetch Lunda's orb. And if you don't know, that also has Lunda's cuirass attached to it that gives you that armor set that poisons that I was using for quite a while when I was dealing with the berserkers. It's a great tip when you're dealing with the berserkers to put that Lunda's armor set. When you finally find all the pieces in the golden chest, make sure you go craft that armor and upgrade it because it'll put out more poison damage for Freya's arrows so that you can drop these berserkers down a level underneath you. Because a little tidbit is that when you're fighting them, when you poison them, it drops them down a level so that they're a little more easier to deal with. Now on the king, the last berserker doesn't really help you that much, but that's because he has all the attacks that all the berserkers have in one. So making amends is about this little side quest you'll do for a Ling Barker Island. It's the side quest that deals with that area. The Ling Baker Island. That side quest deals with making amends. It was a good day. Retrieve Mardal. That is a Freya side quest you will do in Vanaheim. It's quite lengthy, I'll warn you, so you're going to have to spend about maybe 30, 40 minutes doing that. And she's going to take you to her, I forget where it's called. It's near Goddess Falls, where you climb up the side of the wall. Not where you jump across 2 jumps, but you jump across the first jump on Goddess Falls, and then you turn and you climb up that side of the wall, and she'll open up that wall that takes you to her realm, her area. So, and you'll do that side quest because it'll be on your marker. Invasive species, complete all the crater hunts. Very self-explanatory. Those will pop when you open up the crater in the river and such. Bestie's pets, the 2 pups on your sled. I thought it meant you could pet them anytime, but it's actually tied to a side quest in Midgard. I don't remember which one. You'll have to find it. Rightful place. Find all the lingworms for Ratatosker. He'll give you this certain piece of gear that you can pick up at Sindri's house, and that can basically, when you find these little black portals you hit circle on, you can go in them, and with this little thing, you can trap them and return them to him. And Pure of Heart is return all the stags for the other 4 seasons. That also has to do with Ratatosker. He'll get you to do that. Trial by Fire, complete all the trials of Merciful Fine. Very self-explanatory. If you need any help with that, there's also a YouTube video that tells you the letter codes of how to unlock specific final battles from each room. Like you'll have N's and F, or there'll be a 2-letter code that will unlock a challenge. So if you look at all the challenges you've already done, those first 6 are any randomized one you pick. And then the rest that you need to unlock to complete all the trials are when you find the code. So there's a place online that will look for the ones that give you the letter codes. That's the easiest advice I can give you, because a lot of YouTubers were doing this. They were giving you go to the first staff and then go to the third one. Now, well, that depends on what you consider 1 and 3 on your map, so that's not going to help somebody. Find the letter codes, the 2-letter codes that will unlock those final challenges for each of you, and for each one that you have left, and then you'll be able to complete that. Nothing that was that hard, except for me it was the one that was Feet of the Rift, because I couldn't pick the orb up fast enough, but my buddy was able to help me with that one. That one, but that was only because I have use of one hand. It has nothing to do with being hard for everyone else. It's not hard for everyone else, just my disability and such. Ragnarok, Battle the All-Father, that is the last campaign boss. You will do that. A grave mistake is Battle King, the last Berserker, and you'll get that when you kill the last Berserker. Because the ones that say fit for a king will start that whole quest line, and they'll basically have you kill every Berserker, and he's the last one. And the king will actually pop the grave mistake trophy, and the true queen will be your last trophy, and that's where you will battle Gná. And if you look in the Muspelheim, she is in a circle that you will crawl underneath, and then use your chains to climb up on these rocks and get to her. But I will say save her for last, because she can be quite annoying. And good luck on the trophy, guys. I hope you get this trophy. Am I probably going to do anything else with this game? Probably not. When you've 100% of the game, there's nothing really to do. Now, I will say, for those who want to know, there has been stating that Game Plus, or the one where you can return to the campaign with all the gear you ended with on your last playthrough. Game Plus will not be coming for a couple weeks, and when it does, I don't believe. The rumors are saying it'll probably be like it was in 2018. There'll probably be no new trophies, because they already gave you the ability to do the platinum. They're not going to give you anything else unless it's DLC. So, am I probably going to do anything else with it? No, because I was lucky enough that this platinum journey only required you to do it on any, difficulty level. Because, as you know, some games make you do it on the hardest difficulty level. This one just said get all the trophies. Simple, straightforward. The only thing you're really going to battle with is Gná and maybe killing the last Berserker. That's the only thing that I So guys, I'm probably not going to do anything else with this game. But I will show you on the stag trophy. If you look, 2 of the stags that you return, they end up back behind this gate, and they're feeding behind this gate. This one and the one you get at the crater near the crystal pit or whatever. He's at the crystal pit and the crystal thing. And then these 2 are sitting. They're not even nowhere near their counterparts, which I find amazing. The other 2 are just sitting over here. See, they're not where they're supposed to be, but that's where the game puts them when you return them. So, hope you guys enjoy getting the plat, and I'll see you when I play another game. So, peace out.